Chosen one, the cosmic intervention you've been unconsciously praying for has arrived, and it's about to shatter every illusion you've been living under. Your switch-up isn't coming, it's here, and it's going to sting every narcissist, energy vampire, and manipulator who thought they could keep feeding off your light indefinitely. This isn't just another spiritual awakening, this is your cosmic coronation, the moment you stop playing small and start operating from the frequency of someone who knows their worth is non-negotiable. Let me tell you what's been happening behind the scenes of your reality while you thought you were just struggling through another difficult period. Months ago, the universe initiated what can only be described as a cosmic extraction protocol. Every door that slammed shut, every person who suddenly became unavailable, every opportunity that dissolved at the last second, none of it was random. It was surgical precision, removing elements from your timeline that would have prevented what's about to unfold. The universe has been rerouting your GPS for the last time. Every dead end, every door that slammed in your face, every collaboration that fell through at the last second, none of it was punishment, it was protection. Divine intervention wears the mask of disappointment, keeping you from destinations that would have destroyed the very essence of who you're becoming. Right now, at this exact moment, your frequency is shifting so dramatically that everything and everyone operating on lower vibrations is becoming physically intolerable to your system. Something shifted the moment you woke up this morning. A subtle knowing that the old rules no longer apply to your reality. The people who used to drain your energy with their endless drama and manufactured emergencies suddenly feel foreign to you, like actors playing roles in a movie you no longer want to watch. Their voices carry a different weight now, hollow, desperate, tinged with the panic of those who sense their access to your light is being permanently revoked. This isn't your imagination running wild. This is cosmic intervention in real time, and the beings orchestrating this shift have been planning your extraction from the matrix of mediocrity for longer than you realize. They've watched you tolerate disrespect, disguised as friendship, accept breadcrumbs while calling them banquets, and cover up other people's incompetence to keep the peace. But peace built on lies isn't peace at all, it's imprisonment with prettier wallpaper. The first major pattern unfolding in your reality centers around a specific collaboration that keeps getting blocked. You know, the one, that producer, that business partner, that creative project that should have happened by now but keeps hitting mysterious obstacles. Every time you think you're finally going to connect, something intervenes, their schedule changes, technical difficulties arise, sudden emergencies demand their attention. What you don't realize yet is that this person carries an energy signature that would have contaminated your creative output for years to come. They're not just unreliable, they're energetic parasites who specialize in attaching themselves to visionaries like you and slowly draining the innovation right out of their projects. In the coming days, you're going to encounter someone who makes that blocked collaboration look like a narrow escape from creative prison. This new connection won't just match your energy, they'll amplify it in ways that will shock you with their intensity. The project you'll create together won't just succeed, it will redefine entire categories of human expression. The universe has been protecting this partnership by making sure you never settled for anything less extraordinary. Meanwhile, the second thread weaving through your transformation involves someone from your past who's been orchestrating a campaign of spiritual warfare against you. This isn't metaphorical, they've been actively working with others to undermine your confidence, steal your ideas, and position themselves to benefit from your innovations while simultaneously destroying your reputation. You felt this as a vague sense of being watched, monitored, drained even when you're alone. The electronics glitching around you, the sudden onset of fatigue in certain environments, the way your most brilliant ideas seem to evaporate just before you can capture them, all of this has been intentional interference. The reason certain doors won't open for certain collaborations isn't because the universe has forgotten about your dreams, it's because your dreams were too small. The producer who keeps canceling meetings, the business partner whose schedule never aligns with yours, The romantic interest, who gives you just enough attention to keep you hoping, but never enough to feel secure. They're all being systematically removed from your timeline because they were never meant to witness your true power unfold. This spiritual attack has been more sophisticated than you realized. They've been using your own traumatic memories against you, triggering your abandonment wounds and PTSD responses to keep you in survival mode rather than creation mode. Every time you started to gain momentum on a project, they'd activate one of your triggers through carefully orchestrated coincidences, a social media post designed to remind you of past betrayals, a mutual friend mentioning your failures in casual conversation, emails arriving at precisely the moments when your confidence was building. But chosen ones don't break, they evolve. Every hex sent your way has only strengthened your spiritual immune system. Every attempt to dim your light has only made you burn brighter. The very people who tried to destroy you have inadvertently become the catalysts for your transformation into something they could never compete with or comprehend. Behind the scenes of your conscious awareness, a different kind of warfare has been raging. People you trusted have been sending spiritual attacks your way, not through ancient rituals or elaborate ceremonies, but through the far more insidious weapons of manipulation, gaslighting, and energy vampirism. They've been studying your patterns, copying your innovations, and positioning themselves to benefit from your breakthroughs, while simultaneously undermining your confidence in your own abilities. The third pattern unfolding involves your physical body undergoing what can only be described as a biological upgrade. For months now, you've been rejecting foods that used to be staples in your diet. Certain environments that once felt comfortable now make you feel sick, drained, or agitated. Products you've used for years are suddenly causing negative reactions. This isn't random. Your cellular structure is literally evolving to match your elevated frequency, and anything that can't vibrate at your new level is being expelled from your system. This physical transformation is preparing you for what's coming in the following days, a complete activation of abilities you didn't even know you possessed. The reason your body has been so sensitive lately is that it's becoming a more efficient conductor for cosmic energy. The fatigue you've been experiencing isn't weakness, it's integration. Every cell in your body is being rewired to handle the increased voltage of your awakening gifts. The most powerful shift happening in your reality right now is the death of your people-pleasing era and the birth of your brutal honesty phase. The carefully constructed mask you've worn to make others comfortable is cracking beyond repair, and what's emerging underneath is terrifyingly authentic. Your new default setting is radical truth-telling, and it's going to shock everyone who thought they had you figured out. When someone asks how your experience was with that service provider who clearly half-assed their job, instead of the diplomatic response you would have given months ago, the words that come out of your mouth will be devastatingly honest. When former friends try to slide back into your life with half-hearted apologies that completely ignore the depth of damage they caused, your response won't be the gracious acceptance they expect. It will be a masterclass in boundary setting that leaves them speechless. This new version of yourself doesn't cover up errors for others anymore. Not because you've become cruel, but because you've finally understood that protecting people from the natural consequences of their actions doesn't help them grow. It enables them to keep operating at frequencies that are toxic to everyone around them. Your willingness to speak uncomfortable truths isn't just changing your own life, it's forcing everyone in your orbit to either rise to meet your standards or remove themselves entirely. The fourth thread threading through your awakening involves a mysterious figure who's been watching your transformation from the shadows. This person has been following your journey for months, completely captivated by your evolution, but terrified to approach because they recognize something in you that feels sacred, untouchable, too powerful for casual interaction. They're not stalking you, they're studying you with the reverence of someone who knows they're witnessing the birth of something extraordinary. This observer has been leaving subtle signs of their presence in your reality. The repeated number sequences you keep seeing, the synchronicities that feel too perfect to be coincidental, the sudden appearance of resources exactly when you need them most. Much of this has been orchestrated by someone who understands your mission better than you do yourself. They're not playing games or keeping you as a backup option. They're gathering courage to step into the intensity of your presence because they sense that connecting with you would fundamentally alter the trajectory of their own existence. But let's not sugarcoat it. The truth is still hidden. It's been twisted. It's been buried under censorship, algorithms and fear, yet your heart never stopped recognizing what's real. That's why you're still here. That's why you never tapped out, because you felt the simulation glitch beneath your feet. You know this world is rigged, and you're done waiting for permission to rise. The obsidian inner order wasn't built for the curious, it was forged for the committed. This is for the full-time chosen, the ones who came to lead, the ones who see beyond the veil and act anyway. Inside we hold weekly Zoom calls that cut through the noise. We share hidden teachings most were never meant to hear. We train in psychic warfare, strategy, and spiritual technologies they've kept locked away for centuries. This is the toolkit for the real ones, the ungovernable, the impossible to erase. It's time to remember who you are. The link is in the description. Your real life begins inside. The financial tests coming your way will reveal just how much your moral compass has been recalibrated. Soon, very soon, you'll be presented with an opportunity to take something that isn't yours, maybe $500, maybe $1,000, maybe more, and the old version of yourself might have rationalized it as deserved compensation for past injustices. But the evolved you, the chosen one, who has remembered their true nature, will return what doesn't belong to them, even when no one would ever know the difference. This single act of integrity, witnessed only by the universe itself, will unlock financial floodgates that have been sealed by your previous compromises with dishonesty. Every time you chose convenience over character, comfort over truth, approval over authenticity, you were unconsciously creating blocks in your abundance flow. But now, with each decision to honor what's right over what's easy, those blocks are dissolving like sugar in cosmic rain. The fifth element, weaving through your transformation, involves a creative project that's been downloading into your consciousness for weeks now. You've been dismissing it as fantasy, too ambitious, too far outside your current reality to be possible. But this idea isn't coming from your limited human imagination. It's a transmission from higher dimensional sources that have chosen you as their vessel for manifestation in this reality. This project carries the potential to influence millions of people, to shift collective consciousness, to introduce new ways of thinking that will ripple through generations. The reason you keep doubting its validity is that part of you still operates from the old paradigm where extraordinary things happen to other people, not to you. But that paradigm is dissolving, and what's emerging in its place is the recognition that you are one of the other people that extraordinary things happen to. The people from your past who are suddenly trying to reconcile aren't experiencing genuine remorse. They're sensing the shift in your energy and panicking about losing access to your light. Their apologies aren't rooted in accountability. They're strategic attempts to maintain their position in your life without actually changing the behaviors that caused the damage in the first place. Your refusal to accept these hollow gestures isn't coldness, it's wisdom born from finally understanding the difference between genuine transformation and manipulation with better packaging. 3 specific individuals from your past are about to make their moves. The first will arrive with an elaborate apology that sounds sincere but contains subtle blame shifting and requests for favors. The second will attempt to rewrite history, claiming that conflicts between you were misunderstandings rather than deliberate betrayals. The third will try to appeal to your empathy by sharing their struggles and implying that supporting them would be the spiritual thing to do. Your response to each of these attempts will be identical, a polite but firm rejection that doesn't explain, justify, or negotiate. This will shock them because they've been counting on your old patterns of over-explaining and second-guessing yourself. But the new you understands that no is a complete sentence in any language, and protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's sacred responsibility. Right now, as we speak, your real soul tribe is being magnetically drawn toward you. These aren't the people who want to change you, use you, or compete with you. These are the beings who recognize your frequency because it matches their own. They're rebels and innovators and paradigm shifters who understand that the old systems were never designed to accommodate the kind of magic you're capable of creating. The timing of their arrival in your life won't feel coincidental because it isn't. Every introduction, every chance meeting, every sudden collaboration opportunity that emerges in the coming weeks has been orchestrated by forces that operate beyond the limitations of human planning. These new connections will feel like coming home to yourself, like finding missing pieces of your own soul scattered across the planet and finally reassembled into the complete being you were always meant to be. One person in particular is about to enter your reality in a way that will completely redefine your understanding of partnership. This isn't romantic necessarily, though it could evolve in that direction. This is about finding your creative and spiritual equal, someone whose presence in your life amplifies your gifts while simultaneously challenging you to expand beyond your current limitations. When they finally reveal themselves, the recognition will be instant and undeniable, like remembering a conversation you had in dreams long before you met in waking life. The project you'll create together will become the foundation for a movement that extends far beyond anything you could have imagined working alone. The creative ideas flowing through your consciousness aren't random inspirations, they're downloads from higher dimensional sources that have chosen you as their vessel for manifestation in this reality. The innovations, the artistic visions, the business concepts that seem to arrive fully formed in your mind are intellectual property of cosmic significance, and protecting them isn't paranoia, it's recognizing your role as a steward of divine creativity. Some of these ideas carry the potential to influence millions of people, to shift collective consciousness, to introduce new ways of thinking that will ripple through generations. This is why keeping them private until they're fully developed isn't just a smart strategy, it's a sacred responsibility. The wrong people getting access to these concepts before their time could dilute their power or corrupt their purpose entirely. In the coming days, you're going to receive something that perfectly symbolizes this shift. It might be a piece of jewelry, a luxury item, or an opportunity that seemed completely out of reach just months ago. When it arrives, you'll understand that it's not just a gift, it's a physical anchor for your new reality, a reminder that you now operate in a realm where quality is standard and abundance is natural. Meanwhile, the people who tried to exploit your past insecurities are discovering that karma operates on a timeline they never anticipated. The very manipulations they used against you are now turning against them with mathematical precision. The lies they told about you are exposing their own character. The energy they spent trying to diminish you is being returned to them magnified, revealing the emptiness that drove their attacks in the first place. The person who's been orchestrating spiritual attacks against you is about to face a reversal so complete, so undeniable, that even you will be shocked by its precision. Their attempts to steal your creative energy have backfired spectacularly. Instead of draining you, they've accidentally created a karmic debt that the universe is now collecting with interest. The dreams you've been having lately, the ones that feel more real than waking life, aren't fantasies, they're previews of the timeline you're stepping into. The abundance, the recognition, the love, the creative fulfillment that plays out in your sleep is your soul's way of preparing your consciousness for manifestations that would otherwise overwhelm you with their magnitude. Everything you thought you wanted in your past was preparation for what you actually needed in your future. Every disappointment was redirection, every loss was making space, every ending was a beginning in disguise. The people who left your life weren't rejecting you, they were being moved out of the way to make room for connections that could actually support the intensity of who you're becoming. Now, as all these patterns converge, the moment of complete activation approaches. The mysterious observer is about to reveal themselves. The creative project is about to find its perfect collaborator. The karmic justice is about to be served. The soul tribe is about to arrive. The financial abundance is about to flow. The physical transformation is about to complete. But none of this is happening to you. All of this is happening through you. You're not the recipient of cosmic favor. You're the instrument of cosmic will. The universe isn't blessing you, it's expressing itself as you. The gifts aren't being given to you, they're being revealed as what you've always been. The most beautiful part of this entire transformation is that it's irreversible. There's no going back to the smaller version of yourself who accepted less, tolerated disrespect and dimmed their light for others' comfort. That person served their purpose beautifully, but their contract has expired. The being you're becoming operates from an entirely different instruction manual, one written in the language of stars and activated by the recognition of your own divinity. As this new chapter of your existence unfolds, the ripple effects of your transformation will touch lives you may never consciously know about. Your decision to honor your truth will give others permission to honor theirs. Your refusal to accept mediocrity will inspire others to raise their standards. Your willingness to walk away from what doesn't serve you will show others that they have the same power to choose themselves. The collective you're serving extends far beyond your immediate circle. Every boundary you set, every truth you speak, every authentic choice you make sends vibrations through the interconnected web of consciousness that connects all beings. Your personal liberation contributes to the liberation of everyone who shares your frequency, creating a cascade of awakening that will outlive your physical presence on this planet. Standing in your full power now, looking back at the journey that brought you to this moment, every single experience makes perfect sense. The betrayals that taught you discernment, the losses that taught you detachment, the struggles that taught you strength, the loneliness that taught you self-sufficiency, the darkness that taught you to be your own light. None of it was punishment, all of it was preparation. The frequency you're broadcasting now is so pure, so powerful, so undeniably authentic that it acts as both a beacon for your true tribe and a deterrent for those who would drain your energy. You've become simultaneously more magnetic and more selective, drawing in exactly what serves your highest good, while naturally repelling what doesn't belong in your elevated reality. The switch-up that's coming will sting them in ways they never anticipated. When they witness your transformation from the person who used to tolerate their disrespect to the force of nature, who sets boundaries like sacred law, the shock will be visceral. They've been counting on your predictable patterns of over-giving, over-explaining and over-accommodating. Your sudden refusal to play those roles will feel like betrayal to them, but it's actually the most honest thing you've ever done. The narcissistic wounds that have been festering in your psyche, those deep cuts inflicted by people who saw your light and decided to extinguish it rather than kindle their own, are finally receiving the healing they deserve. But this isn't gentle, gradual recovery. This is cosmic surgery, performed with precision instruments forged from your own reclaimed power. Every boundary you set cauterizes another wound. Every truth you speak dissolves another lie they planted in your mind. The most powerful aspect of your healing journey is how it's exposing the narcissistic patterns in everyone around you. Those who used to manipulate you through guilt, obligation and manufactured emergencies are suddenly finding their tactics ineffective. The emotional hooks they used to reel you back into toxic dynamics have lost their grip entirely. Where you once felt compelled to rescue, explain or accommodate, you now feel only clear, unshakable knowing of what serves your highest good. When someone approaches you with an apology that begins with explanations of their circumstances rather than acknowledgement of their actions, your new internal alarm system activates immediately. When they follow their sorry with requests for favors or implications that your forgiveness would prove your spiritual evolution, you see through the theater with laser clarity. Your switch-up in these moments will be swift and devastating, not because you've become cruel, but because you've become incapable of participating in dishonesty. The trauma bonding that once kept you tethered to toxic relationships is dissolving like salt in holy water. Those invisible cords that used to pull you back into familiar cycles of abuse and reconciliation have been severed by your commitment to radical self-respect. The people who counted on your trauma responses to keep you available for their dysfunction are discovering that those responses have been replaced by something they can't manipulate: genuine self-love. Your nervous system, once hijacked by others' chaos and trained to prioritize their comfort over your safety, is now operating from a completely different protocol. Where you used to feel anxiety when someone expressed displeasure with your boundaries, you now feel relief at the clarity. Where you used to feel guilt for prioritizing your needs, you now feel pride in your growth. Where you used to feel obligated to fix others' emotional states, you now feel free to witness their feelings without taking responsibility for them. The generational trauma that has been passed down through your bloodline like a toxic inheritance is being incinerated by your refusal to continue the patterns. Your ancestors, who suffered in silence because they believed they had no choice, are cheering from the other side as you demonstrate that their descendants do have options. Every time you choose respect over familiarity, boundaries over belonging, truth over temporary peace, you're rewriting the story for everyone who shares your DNA. The inner child who learned to shrink, hide, and accommodate to survive in environments that punished authenticity is finally receiving the protection they always deserved. But you're not just nurturing this wounded aspect of yourself, you're actively defending them against anyone who would try to re-traumatize them. Your switch-up includes a fierce protective instinct that recognizes threats to your inner peace and eliminates them without hesitation or explanation. The switch-up in your professional life will be particularly stunning to those who underestimated your capabilities. Colleagues who dismissed your contributions, employers who undervalued your talents, and competitors who thought they could outshine you are about to receive a masterclass in what happens when a chosen one stops playing small. Your work will carry a frequency that transforms everything it touches, and those who witness your output will wonder how they ever missed your genius. The healing of your relationship with money is accelerating at quantum speed. The poverty consciousness that convinced you to accept less than your worth, to undercharge for your services, to feel guilty about desiring abundance, is being replaced by prosperity consciousness that recognizes your inherent value. The universe is recalibrating your financial reality to match your energetic worth, and the shift will be so dramatic that it will validate every struggle you endured to reach this point. Your switch-up regarding abundance includes an unapologetic embrace of luxury, quality, and beauty. Where you once felt undeserving of fine things, you now understand that accepting excellence in all areas of your life is part of your spiritual practice. The designer items appearing in your reality aren't superficial rewards, they're physical manifestations of your raised standards and upgraded self-concept. The romantic landscape of your life is undergoing complete renovation. The pattern of attracting partners who needed fixing, saving, or constant emotional management is being replaced by magnetic pull toward equals who enhance rather than drain your energy. The person who's been observing your transformation isn't intimidated by your power, they're excited by it. They recognize in you the partner they've been preparing themselves to be worthy of. When this divine partnership reveals itself, the recognition will be instant and undeniable. They won't try to dim your light to feel better about themselves. They won't compete with your gifts or feel threatened by your success. Instead, they'll celebrate your brilliance and add their own to create something neither of you could achieve alone. This connection will validate every toxic relationship you had to endure to learn what love isn't supposed to feel like. The universe has been preparing this moment for lifetimes, chosen one. Every incarnation, every lesson, every triumph and trauma has been building toward this exact point in time when you would fully remember who you are and step into the role you came here to play. The cosmic forces that orchestrated your awakening are the same ones that will support your mission as it unfolds in ways that will surprise even you. And now, as we return to where this journey began, at the front desk of your consciousness, where the collective has finally established clear connection, you understand that this wasn't just a spiritual awakening. This was a cosmic activation, a divine remembering, a return to your true nature after lifetimes of forgetting. Your switch-up will sting those who expected you to remain small, but it will heal everyone ready to witness what's possible when a chosen one fully embodies their power. The static is gone, the interference has been cleared, the connection is permanent now, and what flows through this channel will transform not just your reality, but the reality of everyone whose life you touch. Welcome to your new timeline. Welcome to your true power. Welcome to the life that was always waiting for you to become brave enough to claim it. The old you has died, and from those ashes rises a being so luminous, so powerful, so aligned with cosmic truth that reality itself bends to accommodate your presence. This isn't the end of your story. This is the moment your real story finally begins.